All right, Crow Bros here. We are going to talk about the new Star Wars The Force Awakens trailers. We're going to talk about how we have kind of prepared for the upcoming movie and edits that we've seen for prequels and such to kind of make them more tolerable, and just kind of general thoughts on upcoming Star Wars stuff. Less than a week away.
It's like 110 hours, something like that, until we see it.
110 hours.
Yeah, I was doing the math last night when we were at 118 at 9 o'clock last night. So, yeah, so we're almost 100 hours.
Wow. Well, I know that I can barely stand it. How excited I
know
am.
it's exciting.
Every day I keep checking, different feeds and news stories about just new information and trailers. Sometimes I feel like we're getting too much.
Yeah.
Just come on with the movie already. But of course we all love Star Wars. We want to be this, like, just be crazy excited.
Right.
So I think, it'll be good. I wonder how it'll be for like Rogue One.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have like this level, because
I think it's impossible.
Yeah, because this is the first Star Wars film in 10 years, and it's the continuation of episode 6, Return of the Jedi, what came out in 85, right? I think it was 85.
Like 83. I don't know. We weren't alive.
We weren't alive yet. But it was mid-80s.
Yeah.
Early mid-80s. And since then, it's been 30 years. This is a sequel to a film that came out 30 years ago. It's not a remake.
Right.
It's a sequel. And I would say that that's almost unprecedented.
I actually was trying to think, like, am I aware of a movie that's done that? I mean,
right. There's probably something. We're just missing them. But
right. We're not film connoisseurs or anything.
Or critics or anything.
We enjoy movies.
We enjoy
like Star Wars.
Lots of movies. But yeah, no, it's the anticipation, I'm sure, won't be to this same level.
Yeah.
I'll be excited.
Especially
for sure.
since it's not in the episode order.
Right. Yeah.
We already kind of know what's
when
going to happen.
Episode 8 comes out in 2 years or a year and a half from now.
Yeah. Which to me is weird. It's only a year and a half away.
But when that comes out, I think it'll be different. It's just going to be different because it's a different story. We kind of know what happens with Rogue One. And they steal the plans for the Death Star. We don't know any of the characters though. So it'll be interesting.
It will.
But in preparation for The Force Awakens, my wife and I, we've watched the 6 canon films. We watched them in order. I suggested to not watch them in order, but my wife wanted to watch them in order. She's not a huge fan, but she has watched them before. We all know there are things about the movies that aren't perfect, especially prequel stuff. We don't need to go into it too much, but I did find a YouTube channel that actually edited the prequels, and he called them the anti-cheese edits. And there are apparently various edits of these prequels. I'm sure there's several.
Yeah.
But these, so I only watched The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Attack of the Clones.
Right. And I was
watching
the
anti-cheese.
Right. As well as I watched Revenge of the Sith. And I was actually very impressed with what he did. He didn't make the story feel choppy. He didn't. Right. The editing was really well done to not feel choppy, I thought. And he cuts out a lot of the stuff that
it's just not necessary.
And it distracts you from what's going on. Especially, we watched The Phantom Menace, and he makes some really good decisions of eliminating some voices and just putting alien voices and subtitles, so you're not distracted by stupid accents.
Newt Gunray, I think, is a perfect example of this. That his voice was just so obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you'd hear it, and his lines just weren't that intimidating. You didn't feel like he was anything more than just a cowardly businessman.
Right.
But in the anti-cheese edits, not only do they cut out his voice entirely and replace it with an alien dialect, his lines are different. The subtitles don't say what he says in the original edit.
Right, but it makes sense in the situation. Yeah, what he's saying.
Yeah, it's situationally accurate, but he makes threats. He makes it so that his character is less of just a coward and more of a villain. And so I thought that was a fantastic way to portray that, as well as that they cut out all of the unnecessary, ridiculous stuff that Jar Jar does.
Yep.
Jar Jar is still a character. He's still in the movie.
But his dialect, he has an alien dialect.
Yeah, the Gungans don't speak common. The Gungans speak in a different language with subtitles, and they're very rarely in the movie. I mean, they're still in it.
Right, because they have to have the battle at the end to distract
the
army.
But it shows that the Gungans are warriors.
Right, it doesn't show Jar Jar just
flailing around and kicking and his foot gets caught in the wiring and he's shooting.
It's dumb.
It's ridiculous. It
really
portrays the Gungans as competent, proud warriors.
Right,
and which is the way that it should have been.
Right,
the whole time, because they are equals within Naboo.
Right. So, long story short, for these anti-cheese edits, he makes the characters a little... He cuts off the fat, I should say.
Yeah, and another thing that I really enjoyed is he made Anakin seem like a kid that had some idea of what he was doing.
Right.
I mean, in the pod race, that wasn't hard, but when he is flying the N1 starfighter...
The Naboo sleek starfighter.
Yeah, he just is a complete idiot.
Right.
What does this do?
In the original, he doesn't... He's like fumbling around with it, and he just kind of accidentally...
Yeah, no, the edit, the anti-cheese edit, cuts all that out.
I know we're in trouble, just hang on!
It cuts out all the accidental stuff.
That it makes it seem like he knows what he's doing. That he is a pilot.
Yeah, and it just intuitively knows
how to control this starfighter,
which would make more sense and makes it more exciting.
Well, and then
it makes him even for a kid, because I always thought to make him a little kid, except when you're a little kid. When you're a little kid watching the movie, you think, "Oh, cool," but Anakin's a kid.
Yeah, but he's not just any kid. You know,
right?
He has the Force with him at all times. He's a great pilot. He already says that he's a great pilot. He's the best human pilot in the galaxy. He's the only human that can pilot a pod racer.
Yeah.
And so why would it be that he's a complete idiot? So they didn't add anything. It was just the way that it's cut makes it seem like Anakin knows what he's doing. They completely changed the last scene. They cut out the celebration. It's just fantastic, and we really recommend anyone that is going to rewatch the prequels, watch the anti-cheese edit on YouTube. We'll put a link or something to direct you in the description.
Yeah. But moving on to some hopes and dreams we have for the movie.
Force Awakens.
Yeah. Moving on from our anti-cheese thoughts, we mostly talked about the Phantom Menace, but he does kind of similar things for the other two movies.
Attack of the Clones, yeah.
And makes Anakin look like a creeper and
like
things.
a normal person.
And so moving on to The Force Awakens, I think it will make insane amounts of money. I think
that's
it'll be a good movie, and
everybody knows that.
Right.
And
if it doesn't, I will be
absurd. Yeah,
I will be so blown away.
If it's not a really good movie, I would be very surprised. I'm not going to say that it's going to be the best movie of all time. I'm not even going to say it's going to be in my top 10 of favorite films. Because, I mean, I do love Star Wars as a franchise, as an intellectual property, but I love other films more.
Right.
You know?
Star Wars is a lot of fun.
Right.
Star Wars...
It's our child.
It's a cult... Like, it's a pop culture icon. It's pop culture... I mean, foundation,
Right.
basically. But it doesn't mean that those movies are...
the best movies ever.
Right. They are fun. They're inventive.
Imaginative, yeah.
Imaginative.
Exactly.
But really good films that make you think, make you... like
feel things.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite films are emotionally based and intellectually based films.
right. You gotta love things like
Shawshank Redemption is probably my favorite. The Prestige, Christian Bale, that's one of my favorites as well.
yeah. I really enjoy movies that make you think, and lately the movies that are most popular don't do that a lot, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it would be nice.
There are plenty of films. But anyway, to our aspirations.
Yes. So
I think it'll be great. I think it's going to look great.
yeah.
I mean, you can expect that with the J.J. Abrams film. The cinematography is going to be good. And we commented on that in our trailer reaction.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It looks beautiful. It looks like they paid attention to every single frame, obviously.
right.
But
You know that it's been just run over by the editors
oh,
thousands of times.
jeez. The number I think they're going to present for like production costs, I think will just be way below what they actually spent on everything that they are spending on.
Just the man hours put in.
Yeah, man hours and marketing.
Well, I saw this thing, a picture of the main sculptor for the like masks and stuff for the creatures and droids. Man, like I was just thinking how much time went into this. You know, that they're using practical effects. Those things are all built out.
Well, thankfully.
Yeah, well, and which is great. I mean, watching the prequels again, Obi-Wan talking with his friend Dax.
Oh man,
It's just bad.
even as a teenager, I
The-
thought, oh,
the
this
CGI
is
was
so
not good.
out of place.
Yeah, the
This is
CGI
so
wasn't
out
good.
of place.
So now with practical effects, with puppets, again, I think it's going to be great. But it did cost a lot of money.
Yeah,
I
they're
hope,
gonna make all of it back.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they've made most of it back already.
And
Just with merchandise.
But I want to talk about what we've seen already in the trailers. We've seen a lot of trailers come out recently, and I sometimes think to myself, do I really want to watch this?
Of course I do.
Just because
you
I
can't resist, man.
Yeah, but it's just like, if I watch all of this, I feel like I'll have seen the movie. Thankfully, they haven't done any spoilerific stuff, but
No.
I-
And they wouldn't do that. That's why I've gone into the like I've got to watch this trailer because I know there's not going to be spoilers.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's hints like in the new international Chinese trailer that BB-8 says that he's where he comes from is classified, and Rey says, "Oh, really? Classified? Me too."
Where do you come from? Classified, really? Me too.
Do you think he is from the Empire, or sorry, the First Order, or is he from the Resistance?
I'm pretty sure that he is Poe Dameron's droid. That's everything that we have seen so far indicates that he is Poe Dameron's droid. He or she.
Huh.
I know that they've been talking about maybe BB-8 is female, but it's a droid.
Who cares? Yeah. I don't know. I think. Why would he be on Jakku? If she finds him randomly in the Star Destroyer or wherever.
No, I don't think she finds him.
I don't think. Okay, I don't think she finds him in the Star Destroyer. But what if he was on board with Finn when it crashed?
I think so.
Because
I think that Rey is not. I don't think that we're introduced to Rey first. I think that there is a scene with Poe Dameron getting captured, and that they go to the Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Finn and he meet. Somehow they escape
Together,
or I don't know, maybe apart.
Oh. But the only reason I'm
And
not
then we're introduced. I don't know.
the only reason I'm not sure that BB-8 is Poe Dameron's droid is because in Episode 4, it's not like Luke really had much. I mean, he bought R2,
Yeah.
but it's not like.
Well, I think that it would suggest that either Rey finds BB-8 or maybe she even buys BB-8 from like a merchant. We've seen a picture of that metal covered creature,
Oh.
and like it has like nets on the side,
Oh.
and that it's some sort of droid or like trash scrap metal merchant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that she buys BB-8 from
Right.
as paralleling A New Hope.
Right. The only problem I have with that is, like you said, paralleling A New Hope.
Houdini!
It
Jawas.
right. I just would feel like I'm watching
A New Hope.
kind of a fan version of A New Hope.
BB-8 escapes in a
escape
escape pod, crash lands on Jakku.
Gets found by a scavenger seller thing. Gets bought by the main character.
Yeah, well,
it's just like
but if that does happen, are you gonna be mad?
no, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm
But
going
it'd be
to
like,
I'm going to
"JJ?"
think to myself.
Yeah, I would think really, JJ.
Let's be a little different.
Yeah, a little
Let's-
bit more creative.
I mean,
But I think, and we've talked about this off camera, I think that it's going to follow A New Hope.
yes. Starkiller base
But
that can destroy.
aspirations, though, don't destroy Starkiller Base.
Yeah.
Leave it as this imminent threat in the universe that is still out there for Episode 8.
Yeah.
Don't kill Kylo Ren like that you did with Darth Maul. That would be stupid. And don't make the heroes Jedi yet. I think that Kylo Ren will become a Sith later, but will not be a Sith for the first episode and a half. I think that he becomes a Sith later on,
And
he becomes either Sith Lord or Sith Apprentice.
yeah, and Finn obviously is learning.
I don't think that Finn's gonna be a Jedi. I think that Finn.
That wouldn't make any sense.
I think Rey is the Jedi.
and I would think
I don't
They
think
would
that-
do both.
Both of them? I don't
both
think
of
so,
them.
man.
I think that would be interesting.
I think that Finn is gonna be
The
this trilogy's Leia, and yeah, like kind of like the tough military-minded character, but that might be Force sensitive, but is not a Jedi. And then Rey is gonna be the Luke Skywalker. I mean, that's already been
kinda
pretty well
alluded
established,
to, yeah.
and that Poe Dameron is more or less the Han Solo.
But
I think those are big three, and I think that we
every
have
time
Boba
you
Fett
see, every
in
time you
Captain
see
Phasma, and we have Darth Vader in Kylo Ren, and we have the Emperor in Supreme Leader Snoke, and Grand Moff Tarkin in General Hux. I think that is.
that's my problem is if they're beat for beat like the
Well, it's
original
not beat for
trilogy.
beat. It's a black man compared to a white princess.
I think he will still be a Jedi. He's holding a lightsaber and everything.
Yeah, but that's because he has training as a stormtrooper on how to use a lightsaber.
That's a theory.
I think that he
I
has
don't
that.
know. It'll still be great, but we
I think
don't
it's
want
gonna
it.
be awesome.
I don't want it to be too close to A New Hope. And
I think that there will be very similar aspects.
yes,
I don't know if the plot is going to be exactly like I said. I hope that Starkiller Base remains intact,
mm-hmm.
unlike the Death Star. I hope that there's obviously they're not going to get stuck in a trash compactor in Starkiller Base. There's going to be some differences, but I almost hope that it is pretty darn close. Just not as a nostalgia trip, but as just J.J. Abrams has said that in order to be in this world, you have to acknowledge the history of the previous episodes.
Yeah. But in a week's time, a lot
We'll
of
know.
our predictions will probably
Be wrong.
be wrong and look silly. And we will do a review of the
Of
movie.
course.
After we watch it, we'll immediately make a video and put it up because we'll want to talk about it
Yes.
and
we
let
will.
you know. So I am excited. We're excited seeing it Thursday night. And
Yeah, man.
100 hours away.
100 hours away.
So,
Thanks for watching, guys.
yep.
Crowbros out.